So there's this brewery downtown. It's been around about 3 years now or so.
Yeah. And
called St. Joe's.
St. Joe, Saint, important word.
Very unique because
Yeah.
it used to be a church, a Catholic church.
Yeah, once upon a time. So now it's more than just the stuff for communion.
It's been converted.
Oh!
Get it?
Oh!
All right, you go there. You're going to tell us all about it, right?
I won't be cross with you over that pun
Thank
as
you
we
all.
take you to St. Joseph's.
Cheers.
Behind us, as we stand right now, is a very impressive area that obviously used to be where the altar was and where the priest would conduct Mass. Now it's been tanked. All I see are very large structures that are making the beer here. So you're making the food, but another important part of this place is the beverages.
Very important part, yeah. So we have anywhere from about 10 to 15 beers on tap at a time. Normally we have about 3 beers that are on all the time. Then we have another rotating beers of about 10 different varieties. So
The history of the building, I mean, it really goes back. It goes back over 150 years, or nearly 150 years.
To 1873.
1873, they were having services here, and this may have been like, what, the edge of town at that point back then.
It was the 4th church to open within the diocese.
Wow, so that, I mean, that's really going back, and then it was a church for a long time. Now, it stopped being a church before it became a restaurant and a brewery. There's a little bit of a space in between. Is there anything different that you have to do to build out a dining place, a brewery, when it's been used for something like that, as opposed to?
we had a priest come by who was deconsecrated and stuff like that before we actually started the building of the restaurant and brewery. So.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay, so that's, everything is, I don't want to say kosher. I think I would be mixing metaphors, but everything was done by the book.
Yes.
And of course, the obvious, smart alecky question is, does the wine come in a little cup or a little glass?
It actually comes in a large glass.
It comes in a large glass, just like you would expect. Well, it's a fun topic, and it's an interesting topic. I'm sure people are going to come back not because of that topic, but because of the food that they had. So what is it that you think that you're most known for so far?
I'd say one of our most popular dishes is a bison meatloaf. We make a bison meatloaf in-house. We toast a piece of Texas toast, some Yukon Gold mashed potatoes, a piece of the bison meatloaf, a porter beer gravy, and then a sunny side egg up on top of that. So that's one of our most popular dishes, I would say. Another dish we have is, it's a burger, but it's called the Reifenberger, hence my last name is Reifenberger, so I named the burger after myself.
I never thought of that. You have food in your name.
Yeah, so we do have a Reifenberger here. It's a 8-ounce beef patty with some braised pork belly, a little bit of a barbecue sauce, a smoked cheddar cheese, and some pickled red onions. So I'm trying to do a lot of times like the porter beer gravy, if I can incorporate beer into some of the dishes since we make the beer here. So I try to do that. We have like a mussel dish where I'm cooking with beer as well. So if I can incorporate the beer in the dishes I'm doing, that always works well, I think.
Okay, so he likes, to experiment, and he's doing some things he hasn't done before. What do you like, just as a consumer, when you're here? What do you like to eat?
One of my favorite dishes is the mussels. They are from Prince Edward Island. They're made with the Kolsch beer that we serve, and they do have chorizo in them, and it's house-made chorizo. And I like to have that when I'm done working with a benevolent blonde.
Benevolent blonde.
Yes.
That's what you are, right? A benevolent
Yes.
blonde, right?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. And what are there like 3 different kinds that you can always get in various forms? Is that how it works?
We do have 3 house beers. We have our Cornerstone Kolsch, which is a really light beer, easy drinking, everyday drinking, crisp. We have our Benevolent Blonde, more of a Belgian, but still pretty light and nice during these warmer months. And then lastly, we always have our Confessional IPA. So if you're feeling bad about yourself, drink one of those.
Well, you realize, of course, this place did undergo a conversion at some point.
Yes.
To become what it is today. Cool. So it's local, and it's got a local pass that's interesting, and it's in the downtown near Massachusetts Avenue area. St. Joseph Brewery and Public House. AD 2015. This show was so good. I'm so sad that Julie Patterson couldn't join us for the end of it. That's terrible. She's not going to forgive me for hijacking the end of the show, but it's so good. This is the bison meatloaf sandwich that we had talked about earlier, and that's the Reifenberger with Chef Scott Reifenberger that has a little bit of the pork in it too. And I haven't touched the mussels yet because obviously I'm not too familiar with mussels, but that could be good too. Great place. This is the St. Joseph Brewery and Public House, one of the many places and many people that we've met on this latest episode of Boomer TV. Another chapter is coming next week right here on WFYI. I may bring some of this back to the house for Julie Patterson too. I'm Paul Poteet. We'll see you soon.